Okay, hi, I'm Daz. I'm the producer of The Drift, and it's just been the set building weekend, the great big one, the first of what will be several big set building weekends. Actually, it was a couple of days ago, but I was just so tired that yesterday I got home from work and at about 8 o'clock I fell asleep. Probably because I'm old, but it really caught up with me then. I'd been running around all over the place and was really tired. So what I did do, rather than just fall asleep or before I fell asleep, was just write down a few notes of all the sort of things that I sort of picked up on over the weekend that I thought were really either worked really well or things I ought to remember sort of for next time. So what sort of things came out that were really good? Okay, the most important thing for us was time management. The first day was just about a bit like a sausage factory, just have loads and loads of repetitive, a bit boring work to do. But the aim was to get all that done on a Saturday, the longest day. Starting at well, some of us are starting at 7 in the morning, but generally from 10 in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. And for a lot of guys, that was just continuous cutting of card, really dull. But the point being is to get as much of it done on the first day, so on the second day there was less to do, and there was a few other tasks too. So that was the first thing. The other thing was on the second day was to manage tasks simultaneously. Now it sounds easy or obvious, and it's neither of those things, because you can easily get sort of focused down into one specific problem and forget all the others around you, which is why it was so important that I had to run around touching base with every single person that was there, seeing how it was going, looking at what they were producing, checking quality. It's not about being better or an expert, it's about at least one person on set having an oversight. But the other thing I did was I appointed sort of team leaders. And although we were only a crew of about 20 people, 25 people, I still appointed sort of like little team leaders and then briefed them separately to do a certain job, and then they would then go and do that job with a group of people and feedback. And I even got them looking at, for example, when they had to build the pipe holder things. I said, well, how many have we got to build? Okay, well, how long have we got? And well, how many is that an hour? And how many is that every 15 minutes? And they're like, oh, what are you talking about, Dad? Why are we doing that? And the point being is that you need to know quite early on if you're on target. Because if you're not, and it comes to 8 o'clock and suddenly you've only done half the cardboard bits you needed, you're going to have a problem the next day. So it was really good because earlier on during the building, we was able to then either bring more people on task to do that particular job, or take them off because they were well ahead of the game and take them somewhere else and divert efforts in other places. So it was really important to sort of measure your rate of work during the day. That was really good. It was also good because you could then brief the team as they were going, so you could say to them, we're over halfway, or we're 3/4 of the way, or you're too slow, which didn't come up, but yeah, that sort of thing you could do that. So that was really good. The other thing was to know your team. Is to, again, part of running around meeting everybody is it's not just about to get to know them, but it's about to sort of, without sounding too, is to assess them, look at what they are capable of, look at what they're doing, learn their history and what it is they're bringing to the party, and then think about where you've allocated them in terms of all your tasks. Okay, is that the best person for that job? Could I put them somewhere else? Well, if they can do this, is there something better they could do in terms of if they can build a piece of makeup scar effect, could they do a blood spurt or something like that, and talk to them about it and see if you can take it further. So that was really good, and really the best example we had that day was we actually had a guy from London who's normally an actor, but we could see that working on a smaller project where he was building a table for one of the set pieces, that he got right into it, and he actually happens to have some engineering degree or something like that, something sort of calculative that he could do that's like trigonometry and all that kind of stuff. And he got right into it. So immediately I thought, well, okay, if he can do that, let's let him finish that task, and then let's get him on something a bit more challenging. That's exactly what we did. So now we actually built a set piece that we didn't intend to build that weekend, and that was just purely by identifying who your key players are, what skill sets different people have, and then using them to the best effect. Another one is feeding the crew. I mean, everyone talks about feeding the crew. You've got to feed the crew. You do have to feed the crew. They have to be fed, clearly, and an army marches on its stomach and that kind of stuff, which is fine, but it does cost money, and it's working out a balance between the two, because unlike other productions, perhaps, where it might just be a weekend of filming or something, this is going on for 6 months, and we don't have the money to feed people for 6 months worth of weekends. We just don't have that kind of money. So what do? Well, we look at other options, so sandwiches, tea, coffee, that kind of stuff, and getting discounts at local restaurants or cafes or whatever, which is what we've done. But the other thing that was really good was to have a biscuit round. Sounds really small, but have a biscuit round. Just go around with a big tub of biscuits, custard creams, chocky digestives, bourbons, all those really nice biscuits, not the little crappy little dry ones, but nice biscuits. And I tell you, the smiles on people's faces when they saw the biscuits coming round, even if they just took one or two, it was brilliant, and it really kept them going. The other thing is just to keep the tea and coffee flowing. Crew support is such a big deal, and the best way of doing it is to literally nominate someone or a group of people to be in charge of crew support, and that's their job. So going round, teas, coffees, hot chocolate, toast, sandwiches, biscuits, anything they need within reason, give it to them, let them get on with their job. But the second effect of that is not just about the prime one being, so they can do their tasks, but the second one is the fact they actually feel valued. They feel like someone's looking after them. So you combine that with me going around, getting to know them, talking to them as well, where I'm assessing them, getting all the good stuff. They're contributing both physically in terms of what they're making, but also as part of the greater project in that they know that I know what they're capable of. So that was it really. Those are the sort of things. It was a really good weekend. I was knackered, everyone else was knackered. The best bit, was two really good bits. One good bit for everybody was having our photo taken inside the corridor, which has now gone up another level. Still some way to go with it, but it has certainly come up a level. And a picture on the Deliverance, on the new stage that was built. So that was the sort of the first really good thing. But the other one was that we finished on time, and we got the tidying up done, and the feedback from the owners of the building was that the place was absolutely spotless. They absolutely loved it, and that's really great because that keeps their buy-in. That means that if there are other problems down the road, they know that we're a good bunch, and they know that we want to keep them happy. And for example, we had to move everything into one side of the building this weekend because of something else that's happening in the building, and we did all that and more. We polished the tables, cleaned the floors, did everything we could. We spent about 90 minutes just cleaning at the end, and the payoff was when I went to work in the morning the next day, they were completely blown away. It was cleaner after we'd been there than before, so everyone was really pleased. So keeping our in-kind service providers happy was also was well received. So yeah, good. A good weekend. Well, not much more to say really. So there we go. All good.